Hello friends, today in this video we'll discuss about simple DevOps project using Jenkins CI/CD pipeline. So if you can check my previous videos, I already configured Jenkins and Tomcat server. So first of all, so here we'll push the code to the Git repository. So whatever the updated code in the Git repository, using Jenkins CI job, it will fetch the code from the Git. And then it will run a test job. So this test job will create an executable file. This executable file is nothing but a var or jar file. So using Jenkins CD job, this already created job, already created executable file, we are deploying on top of Tomcat server. So I'll give you an overview. First, we'll commit the code to the Git repository. This updated code, Jenkins server will fetch that updated code using CI job. And then it will create a var file. So using Jenkins CD job, it will fetch that var file and deploy on top of Tomcat server. Guys, hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, please comment me in the comment section. So if you go to step 1, commit the code to the Git repository. So you can check my previous video session about Git commands if you are not aware of it. So here is the link. I have given the link. So using git clone command, we will download the project from the repository and we'll update the code, and then we'll commit it, and then we'll push the code to the remote repository. So let's quickly jump into the server. So I'll log into my Jenkins server. Put the key file and paste the server name. Sudo user, and then I'll fetch that code using git clone command. I'll fetch the project. So go to repositories. So this is a Maven project. So just copy the clone URL. Yeah, now we have downloaded the code. Just move to the web app. See. So whatever the info in this file, we are going to display on the browser, right? So just edit the file. Simple DevOps project. Deploy var file Tomcat server. Just save it. So using get status, check the status. So the file is modified. Using git add command, just move the file to staging directory and then using git status, check the file. So it's in staging area. Then using git commit command, commit the code. My second commit. Right. See, you can see here the file changed. So now our committed code is in local repository. Now we want to push the code to the remote repository. So what is the command for that? Git push origin. It's a remote location, and then master is a branch. So on top of this master branch, we are pushing the code on remote repository, right? So need to provide the credentials 4624. Since I have not enabled password login, we need to provide the credentials. So this is my username. I have provided the password. So now I have committed the code to the remote repository on master branch. You can see using git log hyphen hyphen one line. See, can you see here? I have pushed the code to the origin master. This is my second command commit. Just quickly go to the GitHub repository, and then, so this is the Maven project. Go to web apps folder, and then src web app. This is our index file. Click on that. So this is the simple Devops project to deploy war file on Tomcat server. This is the edited code just now from my local repository. So this is about step one. So I have edited the code and I have committed and then push that code to the remote repository. So now we'll see the step two. So creating CI job and then run it. Log into the Jenkins server with port number 8080. So go to the console. So grab the IP. Sorry, just grab the IP. Log into Jenkins server using port number 8080. So if you want to know where this port is configured, just you can check my previous video about Jenkins configuration on the installation video. Username is admin, password. Okay, so log into the Jenkins server. Now we are going to create a simple job. Maven Tomcat. I'm creating a CI. I can give name like Devops project 1, right? So since it is a Maven project, select the Maven. Okay, Devops project to deploy var file on Tomcat, right? So, and then we are where we have the code. Our source code management is nothing but a Git. So we need to provide here Git URL. So get the URL. Just copy this URL, paste it. So we have this code on master branch. So right, so that's already selected. So we'll see about this Polasium in the step 4. So under build section, this pom.xml file, since we are using Maven's project, here the pom.xml file, it will clean. If there is any existing previous builds, it will clean it, and then it will install the new package. I mean new files, right? So just apply and save it. Now click on build. So you can click here, or else you can you can run it from schedule a build for DevOps project 1. You can run it from here. So click on this and then build now. See here, our job is running. You can see the console output here. Right. So now, if you can check here, so it created a var file and a jar file, right? So this is the web app.var file. So build is success, right? So it is the location where this var file is available. This is the workspace where, so because we'll provide this location in the CD job. So in order to get it, in order to get this web app.var file in the CD job, we need to provide this location. So I'll show that. So don't worry about that. So let's go to the step 3. So Jenkins CD job creation and run it. Right, we need to create Tomcat credentials on Jenkins. So this is the first step we need to create, and then we need to install deploy plugin, because if you want to deploy a var file on top of Tomcat server, you need to install a plugin, that is deploy plugin, right? So once after that, you need to select the CI project which we have created earlier, and then create a CD job inside CI project, right? So we'll see while creating. Just okay. So click on Jenkins. So go to manage Jenkins, manage plugins, click on available, and then search for deploy. Okay. So here it is. Deploy to container. This is the plugin we need to deploy a var file on Tomcat server. Yeah, so it's success. The plugin is installed, and click on this. Go to the project, select the configure. So now you can go to the project. So these all details already we have given: GitHub details, master branch, and then pom.xml. So under post build action, you can see here now deploy var or er file to a container. Select this. So you can see here var or er files. So I told you that in while in the CI job, so it's created a web app.var file in the workspace location. So but if you can click here, you can also specify this location. So just copy and paste it. So, so wherever this war file, whatever the location may be, it will detect the var file location if we provide this star. So we know that the works it's created under var lib workspace location. So it will automatically detect the var file location. So no need to give complete location here. So context path is not required here. Just select the container. So we want to deploy on top of Tomcat. So we want to deploy this application var file on top of Tomcat. That is the reason we have selected Tomcat, right? So here, okay, so I already created a Tomcat credentials. If you want to know about the Tomcat credentials, how to create it, just save it. I'll show you how to create Tomcat credentials. So click on Jenkins, click on credentials, click on Jenkins, click on global credentials. You can see here Tomcat credentials I have provided. Click on that, update. So username is deployer, and then password is uh, I have. You can get the password from the Tomcat server. So I'll show you from where we can get it. So log into the Tomcat server. Default user EC2 provided by Amazon. Log into the root. Okay. Now go to configuration location, and then on the Tomcat users.xml file, you can find the Tomcat password. So this is the username, and this is the password. So, and we have added a role. We have given a role to this deployer, that is manager script role. Since using this role, user will deploy a file. So that is the reason we have given that role, right? So now provide the username, password, and then you can like you can give Tomcat or Tomcat and credentials. So whatever, just save it. So now go to Jenkins, click on the project, then configure. So now here under post build actions, just select the credentials, Tomcat credentials, and then provide the Tomcat URL. So what is the Tomcat URL? Just grab the IP quickly. So here, so we want to know the port number. Here I have configured Tomcat to 8090. That is the port number. So just copy this URL and paste here, right? And then save it. Okay, and now we are in project, and then you can click on build now. So you can see a job code triggered. So you can see output on console. Now CD job is running. Okay, CD job got success. The WAR file got deployed on Tomcat server, right? So click on index.jsp, you can see the code, latest code here. So that should be deployed on Tomcat, right? So just provide web app. This is the Tomcat login URL. Click on that. So this is the code which we have committed on Git's repository. So now you can see that code on Tomcat, right? So now we can see what is the step number 4. Automatically deploy changes on Tomcat using Jenkins poll SCM. So what is poll SCM? Here poll SCM is like a cron job on Jenkins server, which will detect the committed changes on Git repository automatically, and then it will trigger a job on Jenkins. So that will create a war file and deploy on server. So let's go to Jenkins server, click on a project, and then go to configure. Go to build triggers. Here you can see the poll SCM option, right? So now I am configuring a cron job to run for every minute. So okay, so this will trigger for every minute. Suppose if I have changed a code in a Git remote repository, or I have done any commits on remote repository, it will detect automatically, and then it will run a test job on Jenkins server. That will create a war file and deploy it on any server, whichever you have configured. So just click and apply and save it. Now I'm going to my local repository. So just pull the updated code using git pull origin master. So it's already up to date. So let's say I have changed the code in index.jsp. Okay, so Devops project completed. This is the code that I have changed in index.jsp. Now I need to commit that change to the remote repo from my local repository. So for that I'm using commands git add typo, and then git commit -m DevOps project completed. Okay, it's committed, and then we need to push these changes to the remote repository. So I'll use the command git push origin master. So I need to provide here username and password, since I have not enabled passwordless authentication. Okay, so these commits now it should trigger a job automatically. You can Yeah, so it got triggered. You can see here. So you can see the console output which got automatically triggered. So whatever the code which we have committed on Git, the now that should reflect on Tomcat server. You can see the success finished. So you can see this code, I mean committed code. So this you should see on Tomcat server, right? So copy the Tomcat 8090/web app. Yes. So Devops project completed. Now you can see the code which got deployed on Tomcat. So using Pole SCM. So this is so just completed the Devops project on a simple Jenkins CI/CD pipeline. So if you have any doubts, please uh, comment me so that I can answer all your questions. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you.